Hey guys, welcome back to math. Welcome back from spring break. I hope you got to do something exciting, whether it was seeing the sunshine or getting outside or sleeping in or staying up late. Today for math, you should have already taken the Unit 5 pretest. If not, pause here, go do that, come back. Today you're going to learn a new math game. It's called Target One Fractions. It's in your lesson and it's also in your math folder. For this game, just like all the others, the first page here is the directions. The second page is player one's card. The third page is player two's card. So everyone's going to have their own card for this game. So first thing you need to do is you're going to pick 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the goal of the game is to get as close to 1 as possible. So let's see what I've got to work with here. So I'm going to have a whole number times a fraction. So a certain group of a fraction. So I think I'm going to go you want to get as close to 1 as possible. So if I do 5 groups of 2/10, so I'll move these off to the side. And so that's the same as 2/10 plus 2/10. 3, 4, 5. Right? So expanded using repeated addition is the same thing as multiplying. That would be your one way to do it. Or you do 5 times 2, which is 10, right? That's why it's lined up here at the top. This is why it's lined up together. Because if you were to add it, right, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and tenths. Same thing here, 5 groups of 2/10. So it would be 5 times 2 is 10. Out of the 10, I need to get a whole. So up here with my pen, my first equation is 5 groups of 2/10. Remember, product means the answer to a multiplication problem. Equation, use your number sentence. And so my product is 10/10, which is the same as 1. So my score is the difference, subtraction problem, between 1 and the product that I got. So for example, with this one, I got 1, my goal was 1, so my score is 0. I want the lowest score possible in this game. So then these 3 go to a discard pile. I'll make that over here out of the way. And then player 2's turn. Same thing, 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's see what we got here. Ooh, I think I can do it again. Look. 8s, 4, and 2. So I'll pull up the text box so you can see here. So 2 groups of 4 8s, same as 4 8s plus 4 8s. Right, so 4 plus 4 is 8. Remember, we don't add denominators when we're adding and subtracting, and they're both the same, so that's 8 8s. Or you can do it just like it's modeled here. 2 groups of 4 is 8. Then you would add that fraction piece. Out of the 8, I need to make a whole. So we'll record that here. We have 2 groups of 4 8s. My product is 8 8s, right? 2 groups of 4, 2 times 4 is 8. Carry my denominator over. There are some lines missing on this game board. Yoop. So my product, same thing, is 1. My score, right? I actually got 1, so the score is 0. And Blue's partner score was 0 as well. All right, get these over here to the side, that discard pile, and we'll go back over to player 1. Oh, look, we're already there. All right, so I have these two. So I need to pick only 3 more this time. 1, 2, 3. And figure out my plan here. This one is not gonna be as pretty. But I think the closest I can get is going to be 5 groups of 1/6. So 5 groups of 1/6. So 5 times 1 is 5 out of the 6 I need to make a whole. So just like I was showing before, I can solve this with repeated addition. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 5, or 5 times 1 is 5 out of the 6. So actually, that's not going to have an equal sign because that's it. So now my score, right? How far away from 1 am I? What's the difference? And I would need 1/6 more to get to 1. So my score here is 1/6. My score is going to be however far away from 1, whether I'm under or I'm over. And in this case, I'm under. So they got 0 on that round. We'll pull these over to the discard pile and we'll go see what happens on player 2. Okay, so there's the 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at there. I can do the same thing again. I can actually switch it, right? So I can either have the exact same problem that I just had, which would mean switching these 2 cards, or I can leave it this way. For example purposes, I'm going to leave it this way. So I have 4 groups of 2/8. So again, you could do repeated addition, or 4 times 2 is 8. Out of the 8 I need to make a whole. 8/8 is the same as 1. So my score is still 0. Compared to the 1/6 from the blue team. All right, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. Oh, look at there, I can get a 1. We got a lot of 4s and 2s and 8s. Okay, so 4 groups of 2/8. So 4 times 2 is 8. Out of the 8, I need to make a whole. 8/8 is the same as 1. So my score for here is still 1/6 because I'm not adding anything to it, right? So the score from this round is 0, but I had to bring down the 1/6 from before. So they're still sitting 0. We'll get rid of these. And 1, 2, 3. Ooh, not so lucky this time. What are we gonna do here? Well, I think I'm gonna have to take my biggest denominator and gonna have to just make it the smallest one I can. So 3 groups of 4/8. So a couple ways I can solve this. One, I know that 4/8 is the same as 1/2. So really this is the same as 3 groups of 1/2. which makes it 1.5, because I would end up having 3 halves when I did the total. But if I were to do it this way, right, 3 times 4 is 12, 12 eighths. So my score here is 1/2, because I'm 1/2 away from 1. And they're still sitting at 1/6. All right, get these out of the way. I'm going to show you what I was trying to say here. So 3 times 4 is 12 out of the 8 I needed to make a whole. What I did was I changed 4/8 into 1/2, because I know that that's the same thing. So then I ended up having 3 times 1, which is 3, out of the 2 I need to make a whole, which is the same as 1 and 1/2. But you ended up finding the same thing up here as well. So 8, you took 8 out of there, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So you pull out one group and have 4/8 left over. So you're getting the same answer. I just changed it to make it a little bit easier on the brain. Go back over here. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. All right, pick my biggest denominator, my 2 smallest cards. Because none of these are going to get me real close. So I'm going to do 4 groups of 3 tenths. So 4 times 3 is 12 out of the 10 I need to make a whole, which means, oops, this is 1 whole and 2 tenths, right? I can take one group of 10 out of 12, getting me the 1, and there's 2 left over. So my score from this round, 2 tenths. I think I'm going to change this one just so it's not quite as confusing. We'll add them all up at the end. Ooh, I don't remember what the score was. Let's look. 1/2. So they scored 1/2. Okay, get these out of the way. One, 2, 3. Huh. You know what? Look at there. Three groups of 2/6. So 3 times 2 is 6. Out of the 6 I need to make a whole, right? 6/6 is the same as 1. So the score is 0 there. Change this to make it less confusing. So that score was a 0. And this one was 2 tenths. Last round, let's see what happens. So far, they're fairly close-ish. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's not real helpful, is it? Yeah, that's a bummer. That is not good cards. Ooh, poor blue team. I think that is my only option because those sixes are not going to give me anything helpful. Let's see what happens to the score. So 5 groups of 4 8s. So again, like I had this before, this is the same as 1/2. So 5 groups of 1/2, if that's easier in my brain to solve, which it is because I can think about money. So I can easily switch this up as well. So I'll show you both of them though. So 5 times 4 is 20 8s. So then I got to do a lot more work to switch this back into a mixed number so I can see how far away from 1 I am versus 5 times 1/2. So 5 times 1 is 5 halves. So in this case, it's a lot easier to change it back, right? How many groups of 2 can I take out of 5? I can take out 2 with 1 left over. So my score in this round is 1.5. That's how far away from 1 I am. Versus up here, right, I'd have to figure out how many groups of 8 can I pull out of 20. It's just a different kind of math. This is much easier in your mental brain, but either one's going to end you with the same answer. Let's see what happens here. 1, 2, 3. You know what? I think I'm going to go with the 1 group of as close I can get to 1 as possible. Right? Think about what those denominators. Remember, the bigger the denominator, the smaller the piece, which means the smaller the piece. These are both 2 away, right? This is 3/5, this is 8/10. So they're both 2 pieces away, but these 10th pieces are smaller, meaning this fraction is going to be closer to 1 than 3/5 is. That is the wrong color. So 1 group of 8/10 means that my score is 8/10, but my difference is 2/10. So now to figure out my score, right, I have all these right here. Luckily, there's a lot of zeros on my end. So I need to add them together. Pull up a little text box here to make it easier to be seen. So 1/2 plus 2/10. Now keep in mind, when you're adding fractions, you can't add denominators that are different. Halves and tenths are not the same. So I need to make them the same. So 2 times what gets me to 10? And that's times 5. So I have to do it to the top and to the bottom. Maybe I better draw this out so you can see it. Let's get rid of these. This is why you should have a journal when you're playing, but I can't show you a journal and my computer screen at the same time. So we're gonna have to just make a journal here. Here we go. So 1/2 plus 2/10. So like I was saying, these are different denominators, so I can't add them the way that they are. I have to make them the same. So 2, we're saying times 5 gets me 10. Uh-oh. Times 5. Looks like we have to put it over there. And if I do it to the bottom, I need to do it to the top. So times 5. So now I have 1 times 5 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10. Plus the 2/10 I already had. Remember, we don't add the denominator, so that's just going to pull straight over. And the real problem I have is 5 plus 2, 5, 6, 7/10. So the score for the green is 7/10. Let's take that over here and see what happens. 7/10. So now when I look at the blue scores, One, I have way more things I need to add up, but guess what? See this right here? Well, that's a terrible arrow. Let's try that again. I don't need to go through all the work of adding it up because guess what? That score right there of 1.5 is already higher than the 7/10. The green didn't even get to 1. This has 1.5 plus this fraction plus that fraction. So I already know that the green is the winner. So now your job is to go and play this game either against yourself like I just did, against someone at home, or if your class is using Teams, you can find a classmate and play on there. Your job is to submit a picture of a completed game board. So make sure that if you're playing against somebody else, you screenshot it so that you can turn that in as well. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Sound good? See you later. Bye, guys.